Hello everyone, I'm Timothy McSwain and welcome to a new game. Well, it's not a new game, but a new game on my channel called Factorio. I've mentioned this in an episode of my Survive the Night server in Minecraft that this is one of the games that I wanted to play, and it just released on Steam, so I decided it's a good time to go back and play it. I had this game before Steam, but it's in a constant state of development. It is an alpha game or pre-alpha or beta or something. It's pre-release, and so there will be some issues with it. But basically, we're trying to build a settlement here, I guess we could call it. We can see our inventory is blank right now, but we can see some of the stuff we can make. Basically, we're going to be automating all this stuff, but it's kind of difficult for me to explain. Um, we're going to be building machines to make parts for other machines, and machines to put those parts together into new machines, and expanding our base and getting more advanced as we go on until we're able to. The end game used to be to build a rocket defense. I don't know what the end game is now, so we're just going to play and see where it takes us. One modification that I made to this is that you'll notice we have 5 iron axes down here, and the reason why we have those is because it takes forever to mine stuff at the very beginning. So these won't last very long. We'll have to replace them. But I gave those to us just because for YouTube's sake, it's one of the very first things you get anyway. You have to mine iron, and then you need stone to make the furnaces, coal to power the furnaces, iron to put in the furnaces, and then you can make iron axes. I believe the iron axe is here. Okay, it's just iron plates and iron sticks, and you can make that all on your own. But you're going to need to smelt iron, which is why you need stone for the furnaces and coal to power the furnaces. So, we're just skipping that part over a little bit just so we can mine stuff quicker. So let's go ahead and start here. The first thing we want to do, I'm going to gather some stone. You can see it does take a little while. So we're just gathering up some starting materials here. Now this is incredibly slow without a pick. That's why I gave pick. So now let's see actually how much do we need. Oh, okay, we can only make 2 stone furnaces. I want to make a burner mining drill, but we're not there yet. So we need iron. So let's go ahead and make a furnace. It's already getting dark. Lovely. Let's get up to 10 of this stuff. Now, I looked over the map in the first place because that's how I put down these picks on the ground in a map editor. So that's how I know kind of what the beginning area looks like. I don't want to be too cheaty with it, but here's some iron. I modified the spawn rates and stuff. You can see on the sidebar there, there's quite a bit of iron here. So we're just gathering up a little bit of this. Okay, so now we have 10 of this. I'm going to go ahead and plop down. Oops. Okay, so now we need some coal, and I don't know where the coal is in this area. That could be a problem because it's dark and I can't see anything. I don't want to wander too far from the base. Here we go. There's considerably less coal here, but let me mute my phone. I just realized it's going off. So this coal is just going to power the furnace. And once we get going and automating stuff, we won't be mining stuff like this. We'll have the machines doing it for us. So that was a little autosave. It'll do that every once in a while. Okay, so now that we have this little amount here, I'm going to go back over here. Oops, is it I? What is it? R? Okay, I need to remember what the buttons are now. No, that's research. We need to do that too, but I'm not going to look in there right yet. I might actually need to look at the controls. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm looking at the controls here. I haven't played it for a while, so let's see. Isn't it right click? Oh, it's left mouse button. That's kind of confusing, but I get it. Okay. So let's put the fuel in there and the iron in here, and it's going to go ahead and you can see the amount of the fuel left and the progress towards making iron plates. So it's going to go ahead and make iron plates. You can see it brightens up the area around it too. And nice organizes everything for us, which is nice. So we can shift click stuff out of there too, which is helpful. So once we have this iron, and I don't need all of it, but we're starting with this right here. There are machines that can craft for us in this game, but we are going to start with the crafting on our own. Okay. So if we press E to open this up, now we can go in here, and now you can see we can make a burner mining drill. Now, you'll notice that there's two things here that we don't have. First of all is a stone furnace. We have one down on the ground, but not in our inventory. You see it's yellow there, orange there. And 3 iron gear wheels. Now, because of the way this game works, I could go in here. If a machine would have to make these iron gear wheels and the furnaces. But in our inventory, if we click on this, you'll see it'll make those parts for us automatically and then go to making the piece. So there we go. Now we have a burner mining drill. And we can use that to place down here. Right. And now we can pick this up. It's going to give us the coal back too. I'm going to plop this down right next to it. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because now when I put half the coal in here, oops, and half the coal in here, it's going to mine the stuff underneath it, but you notice it's not going anywhere. It's not getting any in here because it's going automatically into the furnace. So now it's going to just start mining stuff all by itself, and that's our first little piece of automation right there. So, and disclaimer, I forgot to mention this, I'm not the best at this game, so I'm not going for total efficiency. If you're a guru of this game, don't judge me for that. I'd appreciate tips if you're friendly about them, but not I'm not looking for the best gameplay ever. So, I'm not looking for the most efficient gameplay ever. So let's see. Right, got that. Make one more burner mining drill. I'm going to go down to the coal and place it on that. Eventually we can make upgrades and we'll be able to run, and that'll be very useful. Okay. So this is funny because even though it's on the coal, it needs coal to run. So, and there's some stuff you can do with this that's really cool that I'll do later on, but you can see we're almost through our first pick to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Drop this coal in here, and since it's making coal, I don't want to put that into a furnace. I don't want to pick that up because it just started working. Did it run out of... What? I'm sorry, I just got a little bit confused by that. So I'm going to put this here, put the coal in there, and it should start making stuff, right? There's one in there. Oh, that's right. It's dropping it down on the ground. Forgot about that. So it's making this stuff and putting it on the ground. So if we go over here and mine down this tree, I don't know actually how much we need to make a chest. Oh, okay. We already have enough. What we can do is we can take this chest and plop it right down there. And now this thing will keep running because it's putting coal into this machine. And you can click on drag on this, so I'll click and then click again, so it won't make more than one stack in that chest. Now that we have that, what I do next at this part is make that coal system self-sufficient, so it feeds itself. So this is already run out. So I'm going to take all these. I guess we can keep this going a little bit more. Oh, I already used the rest of that coal. Never mind. So that's going to come to a temporary stop. We won't have to worry about all this while we get it going. The beginning is just kind of awkward. So if we go over here, see the chest now has 10 in it. We can go back over here, and what else do we need? Stone, right? Okay, I knew that. There's stone around here somewhere, right? There's some. Okay. So we gather enough stone to make a stone furnace so we can make another burner mining drill. Where did I set the day-night cycle to on this? It seems like it's running pretty quick to me. Okay, here we go. We can make 2 of those. I want to make 3, though. Okay. And the reason I'm making 3, you'll see really quick here, is because I'm going to make a self-sustaining system here. So let's pick up this, and I'm going to put this next coal generator right there, and then one right there. Oh, there's a tree here. And you'll notice that second one started up even though I didn't put any fuel in it. That's because these are going to start fueling each other. So, notice when this gives a fuel, you notice it also got a fuel. It's getting fuel from the one next to it. So they're all fueling each other in a circle. And that way, they'll use a little bit of fuel to run, but they'll make more fuel than they use. So we'll start getting accumulated fuel up here. And that will allow me to take some fuel out and bring it up here. And we won't be walking back and forth all that much. I mean, we'll still be walking back and forth, but for different purposes. We won't have to fuel this whole system ourselves. Okay, so this is going to get back to work making iron plates. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go into research even though we can't actually do anything with it yet. I think it's automation that we want to start with, right? Or is it logistics? I'm going to start with automation. Optics is light. That's important. I'm going to do that next, but we really need automation. So you'll notice we're not actually going to research automation because we don't have any science kits yet. So these science kits are made in the science lab, and for that we're going to need some different materials. You see at the bottom, raw materials. We need 36 iron and 15 copper. So before we can actually start progressing through the game, we're going to also need to mine copper. So with that in mind, the next step then is going to be, first of all, we're going to need to gather more stone. And a good practice on our way up there is going to be to make another burner mining drill to work on this stone while we're not available, you know. So I'm going to put this... We're not going to need a ton of stone, I don't believe. But I got rid of all my coal, didn't I? Dang it. Okay. So you can see there's a lot of, in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of running back and forth. Eventually there's going to be transport belts, pretty soon actually, there's going to be transport belts running back and forth here. And those transport belts are going to bring everything to like one central spot right where we need it. So that'll be a lot more efficient. So there that goes. Is there more coal over here, or am I going to have to walk all the way back? How many more of these can I make? So you see there's a lot more we have to do before we can go over to that copper over there. I can see it on my map too. M is map. You can see there's my character. Here's some iron. There's some copper up here, and there's some down here. So maybe we'll go to that stuff first. Is this what I think it is? No. I thought purple was... There's aliens here, and that's the next part of it, is the aliens that live on this planet are not happy that we're mining all their resources. I'm filling their air with smog, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, which could say, depending on how you think of it, we could be the bad guys in this game. But, enough of the philosophical part of it, I guess, if that's even considered philosophical. I'm going to clear out some of these trees so we can see this copper. It's good to have this wood too, because eventually we're going to need it for a lot of stuff. So, if we break this down now, we can see this copper in here. I didn't even bother to get more stone and iron, so let's go back and do that. You know, it could just be a lot more efficient if I, you know, knew what I was doing, but at the same time, there's just a lot of running back and forth that's necessary too. So. I should have used that stone patch down here instead of making me go all the way back up there. And there was more copper down there too. Okay. So I'm gonna run all the way back down here. Back to the copper. Hopefully we can make... Oh, I only need one. But... Okay, so there we go. There we've got a system for getting copper now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Actually, I want to go ahead and make a wooden chest again. And pop this coal in there. And we'll begin making copper ore. Gathering copper ore, and that copper's... Why did I make a chest? I'm used to the stone system, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna start cooking up this copper into copper plates, not copper bars, whatever. So just need that. Now with a combination of iron and copper, we can make basically, I'm gonna say basically everything in the game, at least the early game, because you can turn this stuff into more advanced stuff out of this base stuff. The only stuff that's on the ground is copper, coal, iron, stone, and oil. And oil we're not going to get involved with for a long time. So we can make steel, but again, that's iron. So right now we're good. 12 in there, 8 in there. Probably going to have to restock that one eventually. These are all full, aren't they? Yeah, so the limit for a stack is 50. So I'm going to take out half of this. No, it appears... Oh, never mind. I know I did that. So we can fuel the rest of this stuff. You see, our resources are just growing as time goes on. And put 38 in there. It should be better with a better mouse, but I'm using just my magic mouse, so I need to get a gaming mouse. But then like the MX Master, Logitech MX Master is $100, but that's a really good gaming mouse. That's one I'd like to have. Oops. Okay. Okay, and then I'll put the rest in the stone chest. So once we have enough of all these resources, I didn't want to mess with the map too much, but I feel like I maybe should have gotten rid of that lake there. It's kind of in the middle of everything, but the lake's also important. So, oops, I didn't even want to look in there. I wanted to refuel this thing. Okay, so we are going to gather. Since we have not very much stuff to pick up right now, and we have a lot of inventory space, I'm going to go ahead and pick up all this stuff instead of leaving it where it is. Eventually, we're not going to have all our resources on us, but for now, I believe it's fine. This thing's about to shut down again from too much coal, but we're not always going to have to check on it like that, which is the good thing. So now that we've got all that, we can come in here and we can make. I'm just going to make one science lab to start. So you can see it's making copper wire and then electronic circuits, and then it's going to make iron gears and then some rails, not rails, some conveyor belts, and then it's going to use all that stuff to make a lab. It doesn't show it in my inventory because it's already going to use it for something. It doesn't want us to use it for something else. So you can see the lab itself takes a little bit longer to make. And this thing's making a lot more coal a lot quicker than I expected it to, but that's good. So now we have a lab, so I have to determine where I want to put the central operations area. But I think for now, actually I don't want to put it too far away, but let's just put it here. So you'll notice now I put down this lab. Now what it's going to need is it needs these first science packs because we're starting off with the easy stuff. We need 10 of these. But this thing also needs power. So in order to make power for it, we have to do this next step. One of them is we need an offshore pump, and we can already make that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we also need a steam engine, which is going to actually make the power. And these boilers are what's going to heat up the to make it work. Now I've always seen people use 4 of these, so that's what I'm going to do, but I've never really seen it necessary. But so what we're going to do is we're going to put this offshore pump right here. We're going to do this next. We're going to place the power cells, not the power cells, the boilers, whatever. Okay. And then we're going to place that. Now this thing is not generating any power. You see it has water in it. You see that the resource will show up right here. It has water in it. These all have water in it. This is generating water. These need coal. So what I'm going to do is put 25 in there, 25 in there, 25 in there, and 25 in there. And now what this is going to do is you can see it's making a little bit of power. So what we need to do next is create some power poles. Now it creates 2 automatically for us, which is good because one's not going to do us very much good. So we're going to connect these 2, and now this thing is generating power. and this thing is receiving power. So now what it needs, you can see we're consuming 0 watts, we're producing 0 watts, but we're going to change that because we're going to start making things later. You see this lab has a name to it. That's one of the people that helps fund the games on, I think, Kickstarter. It just randomly names them. I think can we rename them? I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to do it, but I wasn't sure if you could or not. So now we can make these, and we're going to want to make 10. I right-clicked on them to make 5. So now we're going to make 10 of these science kits, and eventually we'll want more. Eventually we'll want more of these labs, but for right now all we need is this. And it's going to use one at a time, so we might as well go ahead and throw these in now. And you can see the progress that we're making towards our upgrade is now finally going up. Now, what is this upgrade? You see, I don't know if I showed that in detail, but you see it's going to allow us to unlock electronics later, which is this right here, but immediately it's going to let us build an assembly machine and a long-handed inserter. We can already make a normal inserter, but I just haven't done that yet. So, let's see. It's still making 4 more, because we're going to need 10 total, but this is new, by the way. I didn't, that bar I don't think went down before. But by the time it uses up all 10 of these, it's going to be done with automation. We can start our next research, and eventually more advanced research will need more of these, and then they'll start needing science back 2, and then 3, and then 4. They become increasingly more difficult to make, especially this one's the most difficult to make. This stuff's made out of alien guts or whatever. But this one's the most difficult to make. I don't think it shows us, but there we go. So we're going to put all the rest of it in there. Now what we're going to do next, so that we can actually start working here, actually getting stuff done, is we need to make transport belts. And these transport belts, you know what, I'm just going to take this all out, because it's going to fuel itself as it goes around, since I'm not emptying them all at once. Okay. Should have just been doing that from the start. So you can see we're almost done with automation. I'm going to go back up here to the top here. I need to check my time, actually. How long have I been recording? 22 minutes. So I should go ahead and stop here pretty soon, and I'm going to start using a timer for the next episodes, I think. That'd be a good idea. So these stack into 100, by the way. So now that that's done, and we have that, next time we're going to start working on the conveyors, and we're going to start... Whoop, automation finished. So we're going to start on logistics, and then we'll do optics next. So now we need 20 of those, 20 more of those science things, and we'll do that next time. But to end off here, I'm gathering the materials now to make some belts, and then next time we'll start making them, and that's when the automation really starts. We won't have to run everything between the individual little stations. So thank you guys for watching, and tune in next time. I'll see you then.